Don't act so high and mighty when you're just a stay-at-home wife leeching off my money. My husband's words hit me like a dagger. We promised to support each other through everything and love each other forever when we got married. Why did I have to hear such a knife-like words now? But at that moment, I didn't feel sadness, only a simmering anger and desire for revenge. My name is Susie. I'm 35 years old, and I'm an ordinary housewife who loves to cook. People often say things like, "It must be nice and easy," or "You probably don't have any struggles." But honestly, I want to work outside the home. I graduated from a vocational school and worked as a pastry chef. I was thrilled to land my dream job, making pastries every day. Even after getting married, I kept working. My husband and in-laws believed that a woman should settle at home after marriage, and they couldn't fathom why I'd want to work. However, living on my husband's income alone was precarious. Thinking about future children, quitting my job posed a huge risk. So I kept working and took care of the house without burdening my husband. But everything changed in the 4th year of our marriage. I noticed something was off with my health and went to the doctor. I was immediately referred to a bigger hospital where I was told I had breast cancer and needed surgery right away. I was barely 30 at the time. I couldn't wrap my head around having cancer or losing an important part of my body. Why me? But before I could fully process it, I underwent surgery. When I woke up, my husband was looking at me worriedly. "Hey, are you okay? Everything went well." Seeing his relieved face made me burst into tears. Even though I'd lost my breast, I had him. I didn't need to worry anymore because he gave me hope. After that, my health wasn't great, and I reluctantly decided to quit my job. "You can go back to work when you feel better. For now, just rest," he said, and I allowed myself to rely on him. 5 years passed without a recurrence, and although my health wasn't perfect, it was improving. I considered returning to work and looked for a part-time job at a nearby pastry shop. However, my husband flatly rejected it, saying, "You should just stay home and take care of the house." Even now, we barely scrape by on his income alone. I cover any shortfalls with my savings, but it's still precarious. I wanted to help ease the financial burden, but my husband stubbornly refused. "Your part-time wages are only a few $100s. What difference will that make?" He made it sound like it's nothing, but that small amount could significantly change our lives. Despite my explanations, he never allowed me to work. I actually considered secretly getting a job. But he had been so kind and supportive when I was ill, I couldn't deceive him. Lately, my husband has been coming home late, often drunk from business dinners. He frequently works weekends, leaving early and returning after 10 p.m. If I went to work, who would take care of the house? I had to support him as he'd supported me. That's what I thought as I saw him slip into bed after returning home. One day, while cleaning, I received a rare call from my uncle. "What's up? I haven't heard from you in ages." "Can we meet this week?" "Sure." My parents are gone, and my uncle, my father's brother, is like a second father to me. His worried tone concerned me, but I went to his house as he asked. "Hey, Uncle Tom, you look well. So, what's going on?" "Well, let's talk inside." His face clouded with concern. I couldn't tell what was going on. I nervously sat on the living room sofa. He then pulled out some photos from an envelope. "I took these at a bar near my office." I almost looked away in shock. "No way!" The photos showed my husband with a woman at least 10 years younger, cozying up at a bar. "What is this?" "The bartender said they come here 2 or 3 times a week." No. I couldn't believe my husband was cheating. I was stunned, not being able to accept the truth unfolding in front of me. Has he been acting strange lately? Well, he's been coming home late, but I thought it was work. Well, I guess he's using work as an excuse to be with her. That's unforgivable. My uncle's face turned angry. And he mentioned something weird. Weird? Yeah, he said, I'm buying you a condo soon. Just wait. A condo? We're barely making ends meet. We don't have that much money. My uncle continued to share more overheard conversations. So, what do you want to do about this, Susie? I didn't know. My head was a mess. Sorry, I need more time to think. He then sighed quietly and said, Of course, I understand. Take your time. But just remember this. I'm always on your side. His words comforted me a bit, but I was still troubled. That night, my husband came home late and drunk again. I couldn't confront him and watched as he went straight to bed after a shower. What was he thinking? Why didn't he ask for a divorce? We hadn't had a real conversation in months. I cried in the living room, unable to stop the tears. 2 weeks passed without confronting him. One weekend, he didn't have to work. I guess he's not seeing his lover today? I felt relieved, but at the same time uneasy being with him. He seemed nervous. I didn't have the courage to speak, so I continued my chores. While changing the sheets in the bedroom, I found him rummaging through the dresser. What are you doing? He looked startled. Nothing, just cleaning up. But he was in my drawer. Why are you cleaning there? We're married. Your dresser is mine too. Wait, that's the deed to my family home. What are you doing with it? No, I'm just looking. Stop turning it into a big deal. I felt suspicious. What was he up to? I decided to confront him with the fair evidence. You want to tell me what this is about? He looked startled, but quickly composed himself. Oh, so you know. Yeah, that's what it is. You're despicable. I misjudged you. Yeah, whatever. I considered us over long ago. Don't act high and mighty when you're just a stay-at-home wife leeching off my money. His words pierced like a knife. This is actually perfect timing. I want to remarry. Divorce me. He said so without any remorse. I was left stunned. How could I have been so blind? But staying silent meant he would win. I made up my mind. Fine, bring your girlfriend here. Let's all talk together. And so the next day, we met. His mistress was much younger than me. As soon as she sat on the sofa in the living room, she immediately complained. Why do I have to be here? This royally sucks. Ah, that tone. So sorry, babe. Once this is over, we can be happy together. My husband said, cuddling with her. It was just nauseating. So, tell me, when did you start seeing my husband? Yikes, old lady! You're too scary! I don't remember. She laughed. She was impossible. Ignoring my anger, she continued. So, when are you getting divorced? He promised me a fancy condo. Hurry up! Do you know your place? Oh my gosh, there's your scary face again. Was she mocking me? How much did your family home sell for? About $1 million? Excuse me? We need about $600,000 for a condo, so I was hoping it'd sell for around $1 million. At that moment, I understood what my uncle had told me. My husband was nervously trying to get his mistress to shut up. But instead of keeping quiet, she became even more talkative. I really found myself a great guy. Too bad for you, old lady. Getting dumped and all. She laughed at me, a high mocking laugh that echoed through the house, making me feel utterly disgusted. I can't wait to move in. So, how much did you sell the house for? This woman knew nothing. I sighed and explained to her. There's no plan to sell the house, you know. Huh? Her eyes widened. What exactly did my husband tell you? Well, he said your house was sold and we'd get the money soon. That's a lie. A lie? Her face twisted in anger. What do you mean it's a lie? Well, that house is not for sale. And besides, my uncle owns the house. My husband, silent until now, spoke up. Really? But you had the deed. When he was rummaging through my dresser the other day, he was indeed looking for the house deed. You mean this? I showed him the deed that was in my dresser. Yeah, this one, but wait. What he had found that day was a fake one I had stored away. It was more like a sample deed. On that day I saw my uncle, he had warned me about my husband's plan to sell the house. Discussing it loudly in a bar was so idiotic of my husband. But I guess it was thanks to his dumbness that I was able to switch the deed to a fake one. The house was inherited by my uncle as per my father's will. My husband had misunderstood. Big time. You see, before my father's death, it was decided my uncle would inherit the house. My father must have thought it was inconvenient for me to inherit the house after getting married. So he left me cash, and my uncle managed the house. My father and uncle had lost their parents at a young age and had always supported each other. He probably wanted to leave something for his brother, not just me. I never resented it, and my uncle took good care of the house. My husband knew nothing about the inheritance as my father had passed away before we got married. And yet, he tried to sell my family home without permission. His greed was shocking. Then the mistress suddenly yelled, Unbelievable! What about our condo? Calm down, babe, all right? My husband tried to soothe her, but she continued. Shut up! No condo, no marriage. You're worthless. She was furious. Wait a minute. You only wanted my money? Well, duh. What? I recorded their stupid argument and then got to the point. Now, let's discuss divorce and alimony, shall we? Alimony? They were confused. Yeah, you're both liable for damages. You cheated on me, your wife, and you went along even though you knew he was married. I calmly stated the facts. Whoa, hold on, lady. Why should I pay? Your husband lied to me. She was defiant, and my husband looked pale and stunned. You can refuse, but I'll take it to court. Try me. She was still defiant, but my husband knew better. Stop, babe. I'm sorry, Susie. Please don't divorce me. Even he knew that my grandfather was a lawyer, so he must have realized he had no chance. It's too late. My lawyer will contact you. And just like that, I ended it with my husband. We then got divorced. There was a property division procedure, but our shared assets were minimal, and my husband got almost nothing. All living expenses during the 5 years I was a housewife had come from my savings, and we had no joint savings at all. I demanded alimony from both my ex-husband and his mistress. He begged to pay in installments, but I refused. I threatened to garnish his wages if he didn't pay in full, and the following week, the full amount was deposited. The mistress, unable to pay, pleaded with me. After I sent her a formal demand through my lawyer, she came to apologize with her parents. All three looked incredibly apologetic. It turned out that the mistress, whom I thought was 23, was actually a 20-year-old college student. She had planned to have my ex-husband buy her a condo after graduation and live a carefree life. With her plans ruined, she had no idea what to do next and broke down in tears. I felt so sorry for her parents, who were desperately apologizing for their daughter's mistakes. She later dropped out of college, was disowned by her parents, and disappeared. Now, I have found a job and I'm living a quiet life, working at my own pace considering my health. There's no recurrence of my cancer, but I limit my working hours to take care of myself. Interacting with people brings me joy and a sense of purpose. After the divorce, my ex-husband contacted me several times. "Let's start over. I need you. Give me another chance." But I ignored his empty apologies. I couldn't trust the foolish man who called housewives leeches and chased after a younger woman. I talked to my lawyer and obtained a restraining order. The police would handle any issues if they arose. My uncle still worries about me and visits occasionally. "How's your health, Susie?" "I'm fine, thanks." "By the way, there's someone I'd like you to meet." "Oh no." I chuckled. I'm not really ready for relationships, but if he insists, maybe I'll meet this person one day. Little by little, I'm moving forward, and I will continue to do so.